3 years ago, I hit a breaking point I never saw coming. I was sitting alone on the bathroom floor, hands shaking, heart racing, wondering how everything fell apart at the same time. Work problems, financial pressure, relationship chaos. It felt like life was attacking me from every direction. I couldn't think clearly, couldn't breathe properly, and every small issue felt like a disaster. Maybe you know that feeling too. Waking up at 3 a.m. with a weight on your chest, pretending you're fine when inside you're drowning. One email, one phone call, one unexpected message, and suddenly your mind spirals into panic. In a world full of noise, notifications, pressure, expectations, and constant uncertainty. It's not surprising that so many people feel overwhelmed. But here's the truth. No one ever taught us how to control our minds, and that's where Stoicism comes in. Thousands of years ago, Stoic philosophers discovered something more powerful than any modern self-help trick. You cannot control outside events, but you can control your reaction. Marcus Aurelius proved this. He wasn't just a philosopher. He was the emperor of Rome. He faced plagues, wars, betrayals, political chaos, and the death of almost all his children. Yet every night, in a cold military tent, he wrote one reminder to himself. You have power over your mind, not outside events. If a man with the weight of an empire on his shoulders could stay calm, then imagine what you could do with the right mental framework. Before learning these Stoic principles, I was the kind of person who panicked over a single email. Someone's tone could ruin my entire week. Traffic made me furious. Problems made me freeze. But today, last month, my biggest project failed, my car broke down, and I dealt with a family emergency, all in the same week. And I didn't break. Not because life got easier, but because I got stronger. That's what these 7 Stoic secrets can do for you. In this video, I'll share the exact techniques Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus used to stay calm in chaos. These aren't motivational quotes. These are battlefield-tested mental strategies you can apply starting today. If you're ready to stop reacting and start leading your life with clarity, strength, and inner peace, type "I'm ready" in the comments. Let's unlock your inner Stoic, starting now. But before we begin, I want you to become part of this movement. Comment below. Chaos comes. I stay calm. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Join a community that builds strength not through force, but through clarity, discipline, and self-mastery. Now take a breath. Slowly. You're about to learn the secrets that can change the way you face every storm in your life. Forever. Secret number 1. Recognize what you can control. Picture this. You're lying in bed at 2 a.m., mind racing. Your boss was rude today. Your partner didn't text back. The stock market dropped. Your friend posted something that bothered you, and you're lying there, trying to solve all of it in your head, exhausting yourself over things that haven't even happened yet. Here's the brutal truth about why we suffer. We spend 90% of our mental energy on things we cannot control. Think about your last panic attack, your last sleepless night. What were you worried about? Whether people will judge you, if you'll get that opportunity, how the future will unfold. Notice something. None of these are in your control right now, yet we torture ourselves trying to control them anyway. It's like standing in the rain, screaming at the sky to stop. The rain doesn't care. It just keeps falling, and you just keep getting wetter, angrier, more exhausted. 3 years ago, a major project at work failed. My partner was frustrated. Unexpected expenses piled up. I spent hours trying to control what I couldn't. Colleagues' reactions, traffic, random circumstances. Nothing worked. Then one night, exhausted, I asked myself, which of these things are truly mine to control? That question changed everything. Imagine you're a ship captain. A storm is coming, massive waves, Brutal winds, lightning tearing across the sky. You cannot control the storm, you cannot stop the waves, but you can control how you adjust your sails, the direction you steer, how you secure your cargo. A panicked captain fights the ocean and drowns. A skilled captain works with what they can control and survives. Epictetus, born a slave who became one of history's greatest philosophers, taught, "Some things are within our power, while others are not." Marcus Aurelius reinforced this. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Here's what happens in your brain when you try to control the uncontrollable. Your amygdala lights up. Cortisol floods your system. Your prefrontal cortex shuts down. You enter fight or flight mode over something that isn't even a real threat. But when you focus on what you can control, your stress response decreases, decision-making improves, and peace increases exponentially. Draw two columns, I can control and I cannot control. When stress hits, ask, is this within my control? If yes, act immediately. If no, let it go and redirect your energy. Before, I spent hours obsessing over emails, traffic, people's reactions. Anxiety ruled me. Now, I focus only on what I can influence. Same challenges, completely different response. Calm, confident, in control. The weight lifts, panic dissolves. You realize that true freedom doesn't come from controlling life. It comes from controlling yourself. Write down 3 things stressing you out. Circle what you can control and take one action. Comment, I take control of my mind. Secret number 2, practice negative visualization. Imagine waking up tomorrow and your phone is dead. Your alarm never went off. You're late for the most important meeting of your career. Your chest tightens. Panic floods in. You feel completely unprepared. Now imagine you had already rehearsed this scenario in your mind yesterday. Suddenly, you're not panicking. You're executing your backup plan. Most of us live in a fantasy where everything will go smoothly. Then, reality hits. A deadline is missed, a colleague disappoints, an expense appears, and we crumble. We feel blindsided, betrayed by life itself. That overwhelming sense of, I didn't see this coming, is the signature of an untrained mind. We've never prepared for adversity, so when it arrives, we have no emotional shield, no mental defense, just raw panic. I remember a Monday morning vividly. My laptop crashed just as I was submitting a critical report. My phone rang with urgent news about a delayed shipment. A close friend was upset over a misunderstanding. My first reaction? Pure chaos. Stress consumed me. But then I paused and realized I hadn't prepared my mind for moments like this. I was living in a bubble, expecting smooth sailing. That realization cost me my peace that day. But it taught me everything. Think of negative visualization like a mental sparring match. Boxers don't wait for the first punch to land in a real fight. They practice dodging, blocking, and countering every possible move in the gym beforehand. By the time they step into the ring, their body knows what to do automatically. Your mind, Seneca, one of Rome's wisest Stoics, advised, rehearse them in your mind. Exile, torture, war, shipwreck. All the terms of our human lot should be before our eyes. Marcus Aurelius reflected daily on possible obstacles, preparing himself to meet difficulty with composure. It's not pessimism, it's foresight. It's training. When you visualize potential adversity, your brain activates the same neural pathways it would during the real event. This process, called mental rehearsal, reduces the shock response when challenges actually occur. Your amygdala becomes less reactive. Your prefrontal cortex stays engaged. You shift from panic mode to problem-solving mode faster because your brain recognizes the pattern. Each morning, take 5 minutes. Visualize one potential challenge today. a tough conversation, a project risk, a personal setback. Ask, what could go wrong? How will I respond? Imagine yourself staying calm, making clear decisions, acting with intention. Feel that steadiness now, before it's needed. Before, unexpected problems threw me into spirals. A harsh comment could ruin my week. Now, the same events happen, but my mind stays steady. I respond with clarity, not chaos. I'm no longer surprised by life's curveballs because I've already caught them in my mind. The beauty of negative visualization is profound. It doesn't make you fearful. It makes you fearless. You're not dreading the worst, you're prepared for it. And that preparedness is freedom. Tonight, pick one possible challenge. Visualize it. Plan your response. Feel your mind grow steadier. Comment, I prepare my mind for challenges. Secret number 3. Pause before reacting. Have you ever sent a text in anger and immediately regretted it? One heated reply, one impulsive response, and suddenly a minor disagreement explodes into a full conflict. Your heart pounds. Your hands shake. You stare at the screen thinking, why did I say that? You can't unsend it. You can't take it back. And now you're paying the price for a reaction that took less than 5 seconds. We live in a world that rewards speed, instant replies, immediate reactions, but this constant rush creates a hidden trap. We react before we think. Someone criticizes us, and we defend. Someone disappoints us, and we attack. Someone triggers us, and we explode. We're on autopilot, controlled by emotions we didn't choose, saying things we don't mean, creating damage we can't undo. The worst part? We feel powerless, like our emotions are driving the car and we're just passengers. I remember a day at the office when a colleague publicly criticized a report I had spent hours perfecting. My face flushed, my heart pounded. Every instinct screamed at me to fire back, to defend myself, to prove I was right. My hands were literally shaking as I opened my mouth to respond. But something made me pause. Just 5 seconds. I took one deep breath. In that tiny gap, clarity returned. I realized his criticism wasn't personal. It was feedback I could actually use. I responded calmly, "Thanks for pointing that out. Let me review that section." The tension dissolved. The relationship stayed intact. Think of your mind as a camera shutter. If you snap a photo too quickly, the image comes out blurry, distorted, unusable. But if you pause, adjust the focus, and wait for the right moment, the picture is sharp and clear. That pause, that brief moment of stillness, is the difference between a reaction you regret and a response you respect. Epictetus taught that we are disturbed not by events themselves, but by our judgments about them. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you have power over your mind, not outside events. The pause is where those power lives. It's the sacred space between what happens to you and what you choose to do about it. When something triggers you, your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, fires instantly. Stress hormones flood your body. Your prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational thinking, temporarily goes offline. This is called an amygdala hijack. The pause interrupts this hijack. By counting to 5 and breathing deeply, you're giving your prefrontal cortex time to come back online. You shift from reactive to responsive, from emotional to rational. When triggered by anger, fear, frustration, do this. 1. Stop. Count to 5 silently. 2. Take one deep, slow breath. Feel your body settle. 3. Ask, what's the most constructive response here? 4. Only then speak or act, with intention, not impulse. Before, I reacted immediately to emails, texts, comments. The tiny annoyance could derail my day. Now I pause. I observe my emotions, assess the situation, then choose my response. Same situations, but my life feels calmer, my relationships stronger, my decisions wiser. The pause doesn't just prevent mistakes. It transforms you. You stop being controlled by your emotions and start directing them. Tension becomes manageable. Conflict becomes negotiable. You realize, I am not my reactions. I am the space between stimulus and response. Today, in any irritation, delayed message, harsh tone, traffic, pause. Count to 5. Breathe, then respond. Comment. I pause before reacting. Secret number 4. Keep a daily reflection. Journalism. It's 11 p.m. You're lying in bed, exhausted. But your mind won't stop. You're replaying every conversation, every mistake, every awkward moment from today. Why did I say that? What if they think I'm incompetent? Did I mess everything up? The thoughts loop endlessly. Sleep feels impossible. Tomorrow you'll wake up tired, carrying today's unresolved chaos into a new day. The cycle never breaks. Most of us end our days in mental chaos. Thoughts, emotions, worries, all tangled together like a knot we can't untie. We carry unprocessed experiences from one day to the next, accumulating stress like debt. We don't know what we did well, what we could improve, or what lessons we learned. We just survive, stumbling from one day to the next, never truly learning, never truly growing. We're living life in a blur, without clarity, without insight, without progress. I used to end every day the same way, replaying conversations in my head, obsessing over mistakes, worrying about tomorrow. Sleep was restless. Mornings were heavy. My mind never had a moment of peace. One night, frustrated and exhausted, I grabbed a notebook. I wrote 3 simple questions. What went well today? What challenged me? What did I learn? 5 minutes later, I closed the notebook and something shifted. The mental knot untangled. The weight lifted. For the first time in months, my mind was quiet. I slept deeply. I woke up clear. Think of your mind as a cluttered desk. Papers everywhere, notes scattered, nothing organized. You can't find what you need. Everything feels overwhelming. Journalism is the act of organizing that desk, sorting each paper, filing each thought, clearing the surface. The next morning, you arrive at a clean desk, ready to work with focus and intention instead of chaos and confusion. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, kept a private journal we now call Meditations. He didn't write it for publication. He wrote it for himself, to process his thoughts, examine his actions, and remind himself of Stoic principles. Seneca also practiced daily reflection, asking himself each night, what bad habit did I overcome today? What vice did I resist? In what way am I better? This practice kept them grounded even while ruling empires and facing unimaginable challenges. Secret number 5. Focus on the present moment. You're sitting across from someone you love, and they're talking to you. But you're not really listening. Your mind is elsewhere, replaying yesterday's argument, rehearsing tomorrow's meeting, worrying about next week's deadline. Suddenly they stop talking and ask, "Are you even listening to me?" You freeze. You have no idea what they just said, and in that moment you realize you weren't there. You were physically present, but mentally absent. You just missed a moment you can never get back. Most of us are never truly here. We're haunted by the past or anxious about the future. During breakfast, we're thinking about work. During work, we're thinking about home. During conversations, we're planning our next sentence instead of listening. We live life in fast forward, rushing through the present moment to get to some imagined, better future. But that future never arrives, because when it does, we're still somewhere else in our minds. We're missing our lives, moment by moment, day by day. Caught in mental time travel we can't control. A few months ago, I caught myself eating lunch while strolling through emails. half listening to a podcast and mentally planning my afternoon. I finished the meal and couldn't remember a single bite. I was there, but I wasn't present. That night I tried something different. I sat down with dinner, put my phone away, and focused only on eating. I tasted every flavor. I noticed the texture, the warmth, the satisfaction. 5 minutes of true presence felt more fulfilling than hours of distracted living. That's when I understood. Presence isn't about having more time. It's about actually inhabiting the time we have. Imagine your mind as a camera lens. If it's constantly zooming in and out, trying to capture everything at once, the images are blurry and chaotic. But when you focus the lens on one clear subject, right here, right now, everything comes into sharp, vivid focus. The colors are brighter, the details are clearer. Life becomes rich and real instead of fuzzy and abstract. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present moment." Epictetus taught that we suffer not from events, but from our judgments about past and future events. Seneca asked, "How can you call yourself alive when you're perpetually absent from the present?" The Stoics understood that the present moment is the only place where life actually happens. Everything else is memory or imagination. Your brain has a default mode network that activates when you're not focused on the present. This network causes mind-wandering, rumination, and anxiety. Studies show that people spend nearly 47% of their waking hours thinking about something other than what they're doing, and this mind-wandering makes them unhappy. Present moment awareness deactivates the default mode network, reducing anxiety and increasing life satisfaction. Essentially, presence rewires your brain for peace. Throughout today, practice micro-presence. 1. Pause and notice your breath for 10 seconds. Feel the air entering and leaving. 2. Engage fully with what you're doing. If eating, taste each bite. If talking, listen without planning your response. 3. Remind yourself, the past is gone, the future isn't here. Right now is all I have. Before, I was constantly anxious, missing details, forgetting tasks, feeling exhausted by life. Now, when challenges arise, I respond with clarity because my attention is here, not scattered across past and future. Same life, but my experience is completely different, calmer, richer, more intentional. Focusing on the present doesn't make problems vanish, but it changes everything. You stop living in the prison of past regrets and future fears. You reclaim your life, one present moment at a time. You realize, this moment, right now, is the only place where peace exists. Right now, pause. Take a deep breath. Notice 3 things around you. Be fully here. Comment, I choose the present. Secret number 6. Train your mind with small discomforts. Imagine your alarm goes off at 6 a.m. You reach over, hit snooze, and pull the covers back over your head. Just 5 more minutes, you tell yourself. An hour later, you're rushing, stressed, starting your day in chaos. Now imagine a different version of you. One who hears the alarm and immediately gets up. No negotiation. No hesitation. That person isn't superhuman. They've just trained their mind to handle small discomfort. We live in a world designed for comfort. Temperature-controlled rooms, instant food delivery, entertainment on demand. We avoid every minor discomfort like it's a threat. Cold shower? No way. Waking up early? Too hard. Skipping dessert? Impossible. But here's the hidden cost. Every time we choose comfort over challenge, we make ourselves weaker. We become fragile. A minor inconvenience feels like a crisis. A small setback breaks us. We've trained ourselves to crumble under the slightest pressure because we've never built mental muscle. I used to be that person. Cold showers? Never. Waking up early? Not a chance. Anything uncomfortable I avoided. Then one day, stuck in traffic, Late for a meeting, I had a complete meltdown over something I couldn't control. That's when I realized I was mentally weak. I'd spent years avoiding discomfort, and now even tiny challenges destroyed my peace. So I started small. Each morning, I turned the shower cold for just the last 30 seconds. It was awful at first. My body resisted. But after 2 weeks, I noticed something remarkable. Stressful emails didn't bother me. Traffic jams didn't trigger me. I trained my nervous system to stay calm under pressure. Think of your mind like a muscle. If you never lift weights, you stay weak. But if you gradually add resistance, 5 pounds, then 10, then 20, you get stronger. Small discomforts are mental weights. A cold shower is a light dumbbell. Waking up early is a moderate workout. Skipping a comfort food is resistance training. Each time you choose discomfort voluntarily, you're building mental strength that shows up when life gets involuntarily difficult. Seneca practiced voluntary hardship, writing, "Set aside days to live with the scantiest fare, asking yourself, is this what I feared?" Epictetus trained his students to embrace small challenges deliberately. Marcus Aurelius wrote about welcoming obstacles as opportunities to practice virtue. The Stoics knew, comfort creates weakness, discomfort creates strength. When you voluntarily face discomfort, you're training your brain's stress response system. Your amygdala learns that discomfort isn't dangerous. Your prefrontal cortex strengthens its ability to override emotional impulses. This process, called stress inoculation, builds psychological resilience. Studies show that people who regularly expose themselves to manageable challenges handle major stresses significantly better. You're literally rewiring your nervous system for calm. Choose one small discomfort daily. 1. Take a cold shower for the last 30 seconds. 2. Wake up 15 minutes earlier than needed. 3. Skip one comfort food or convenience. 4. Sit in silence for 5 minutes without your phone. Observe your mental resistance without judging it. Notice how this small practice strengthens your ability to handle bigger challenges. Before, I avoided minor inconveniences and became easily frustrated when life didn't cooperate. Now, intentionally embracing small discomforts gives me perspective, patience, and discipline. Same life, the same challenges, but my mind is unshakable. The power isn't in the cold shower or the early alarm. The power is in proving to yourself, I can handle hard things. That proof becomes armor. Life throws challenges at you, and instead of crumbling, you think, I've trained for this. Today, pick one small discomfort. Face it intentionally. Notice your thoughts. Push through. Comment. I train with discomfort. Secret number 7. Reframe problems as opportunities. Imagine you just got rejected. The job you wanted, the relationship you invested in, the opportunity you prepared for. Rejection. And it feels like a door slamming in your face, ending everything. But what if that closed door wasn't an ending? What if it was redirection? What if rejection wasn't failure? It was protection, clearing the path for something better. That shift in perspective, that's the Stoic secret that changes everything. Most of us see problems as enemies. A project fails, and we feel defeated. A relationship ends, and we feel broken. An opportunity slips away, and we feel cheated. We resist challenges, complain about setbacks, and feel victimized by circumstances. But here's what that mindset costs us. We stay stuck in suffering, replaying the problem instead of extracting the lesson. We waste energy fighting reality instead of using reality to grow. Every obstacle becomes evidence that life is against us, when the truth is simpler. Life is just training us. I remember when my biggest work presentation collapsed due to a technical glitch. My laptop froze mid-sentence. The slides disappeared. I stood there, humiliated, watching my credibility crumble. My first instinct was to spiral. I'm a failure. Everyone thinks I'm incompetent. But then I forced myself to ask a different question. What can I learn from this disaster? The answer changed everything. I learned to always have backup slides on my phone. I learned to start presentations by connecting with the audience, not relying on technology. I learned that vulnerability and honesty build trust faster than perfection. 6 months later, I delivered the best presentation of my career, not despite that failure, but because of it. Think of problems like weights in a gym. You could complain, "Why is this so heavy? This is unfair. I don't want to lift this." Or you could recognize, "This weight exists to make me stronger. The heavier it is, the more I grow." A hiker doesn't curse the mountain for being steep. They know the climb builds their endurance. Stoics don't curse problems for being hard. They know challenges build character. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Epictetus taught, "Difficulties show us who we are." They understood a fundamental truth. Obstacles aren't blocking your path, they are the path. Every challenge is an invitation to develop qualities you don't yet have. Patience, courage, wisdom, resilience. When you frame problems as opportunities, you activate your brain's problem-solving networks instead of its threat response systems. Neuroscientists call this cognitive reappraisal. Instead of your amygdala flooding you with stress hormones, your prefrontal cortex engages creatively. Research shows that people who practice reframing experience lower anxiety, better performance under pressure, and faster recovery from setbacks. You're training your brain to see challenges as puzzles to solve, not threats to survive. When facing a challenge, 1. Pause and name the problem clearly without drama. 2. Ask, what skill is this forcing me to develop? What lesson is hiding here? 3. Write one practical action you can take to benefit from this situation. 4. Take that action immediately. Shift from, "Why is this happening to me?" to, "What is this teaching me?" Before. Small setbacks ruined my mood and productivity. I felt like a victim of circumstances. Now, I see difficulties as training. Same life, same challenges, but a completely different experience. Calmer, proactive, growth-focused. Problems don't shrink me. They stretch me. The moment you truly embrace this mindset, something profound happens. You stop fearing challenges. You actually start seeking them because you know every obstacle makes you stronger, wiser, more capable. Life stops being something that happens to you and becomes something that happens for you. Take your current biggest problem. Ask, what opportunity is hidden here? Write it down, act on it. Comment, I turn problems into growth. Conclusion. Today, we explored the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. 7 powerful practices that can transform the way you handle life's challenges. From recognizing what you can control, to pausing before reacting, to reframing problems as opportunities, each technique is designed to help you stay calm, focused, and resilient, even in the most stressful situations. These are not just philosophical ideas. They are practical tools that you can apply immediately. By keeping a daily reflection, focusing on the present moment, embracing small discomforts, practicing negative visualization, using affirmations, and observing without judgment, you train your mind to respond intentionally instead of reacting impulsively. Over time, these small daily habits compound into unshakable mental strength, clarity, and inner peace. Imagine facing setbacks with calm, tackling challenges with confidence, and navigating chaos with clarity. That's the power of Stoicism applied consistently. Life won't necessarily become easier, but your ability to handle it with grace and wisdom will grow immensely. Now it's your turn. Start applying one of these techniques today. Maybe take 5 minutes to reflect in your journal or pause before your next reaction. Notice how it shifts your perspective, even slightly. Small steps lead to big change. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share it with someone who needs it, and comment below to let me know which Stoic practice you'll start using today. And make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos packed with life-changing strategies. Remember, mental strength is not built overnight. It's developed one conscious choice at a time. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and slowly but surely you'll become calmer, wiser, and more in control of your life. Let's continue this journey together, because calm, clarity, and resilience are habits we can all master.